Hello, welcome to lesson 7.4. Today we're going to look at chord, secant, and tangent properties. The first property is the chord intersection property. It tells us that AE times EC is going to be equal to BE times ED. Now, take a second, pause the video, and make sure you draw your circle with all of these points labeled, and make sure you have the property written correctly. Now on this next page, I'll show you what that means. So what that says is when chords intersect anywhere in a circle, 4 times 6 BE times ED is going to be equal to AE, which is 3, times EC, which in this case is 8. Now is that true that 24 is equal to 24? Yep. And this just demonstrates that this works. Now we have a property dealing with the secants, which tells us that DC times DB is going to be equal to DE times DA. Now, we need to be careful with this one because it says DC times DB, which is this one, is going to be equal to DE times DA. So DA is the long one and DB is the long one. Now this, a lot of people get confused with as we roll on to this next problem. What this is saying is 3 times 12, which is this whole distance. 3 times 12 is equal to 4 times the whole distance, which is 9. Now we can check to see that this works. 3 times 12 is 36, and 4 times 9 is also 36. So we can see that that works. Now, if we slide this to the side, we could make a tangent, and we have pretty much the same property. The tangent, it would be AD times AD is going to equal AC times AB. So now we're just going to square this one, the tangent. So, for instance, 4 squared, 4 times 4, is that equal to 2 times the entire thing, which is 8? Well, 4 squared is 16. 2 times 8 is 16. So we can see that this property works. Now, let's try some problems on our own. This one will use the chord property. So 3 times x is going to equal 8 times 2. So that says 3x is equal to 16. So now we just have to divide each side by 3, and x is equal to 16 over 3. Now this next problem, we're going to have 3 times the entire length, which is 11, equal 4 times this entire length, which is 4 plus x. So when we multiply this out, this will be 33 is equal to 4 times 4 plus x. Now we can divide both sides by 4. 33 divided by 4 should be 8 1/4. So now we just have to subtract 4 on both sides, and x is going to be equal to 4 1/4. All right. Now in this situation, we'll use our tangent rule. So 7 times 7 is 7 squared, or 49. That's going to be equal to 6 times this whole length, which is 6 plus x. So now if we divide both sides by 6, we'll have 49 sixths is equal to 6 plus x. This would be 8 well, it would be 8 1/6. So if we subtract 6 on both sides, this x value will be 2 1/6 or 2.16 repeating. All right, now we have one more question, one more problem that gets a little tricky. Now, if we did this one, we would say 2 times the whole distance, which would be 9, is equal to x times the whole distance, which is x plus 3. Now, you'll see why this is a little bit different in a second. When we multiply this, we'll get 18. This x we just can't divide, so we need to distribute over the parentheses. So this will be x squared plus 3x. Whenever we have a situation where we have an x squared and an x, there's 3 ways we can solve it. We can use the quadratic formula, we can solve by completing the square, or we can factor. The easiest way to do is factoring if we can. So what I would do here is subtract 18 on both sides, and then think about how we can factor this last one. Well, what two numbers multiply to 18 and add up to 3? That would be x plus 6, x minus 3. And in this situation, 6 minus 3 adds up to 3. 6 times negative 3 is 18, so that works. So now what we do is we see if x plus 6 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0, we solve for x. In this case, we subtract 6 on both sides. In this case, we add 3 on both sides. Now it doesn't really make sense that this value would be negative 6, so that doesn't work. So x has to equal 3. Now if we want to check this, off to the side we can check it by is 2 times 9 can equal 3 times the whole distance, which is 6. Well, that's 18. This is 18. So it looks like it's working out for us. All right, hopefully that can get you through the homework.